Yo, Yuki here. The messenger of facts, the rebelling rose, the one born to be berserked, the one chained to oblivion, returning yet again with another excellent video. Now that 2026 is officially here, there's a lot of games to be looking forward to. Now, gaming as a whole is definitely dead. I really struggle to find good games nowadays. But, you know, being in the gamer that I am, being someone that's passionate about games, being someone that you know, just looks around, just checks every nook and cranny, every damn corner, I'm gonna find something. I'm gonna find something. I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. The top 5 games I'm hyped for in 2026. First off, we have Parasite Mutant. This game is pretty much an indie project. It's a tribute to Parasite Eve. And if you've seen the trailers for this, you can definitely tell. You're like, holy shit, is this Parasite Eve? And I almost got fooled. I almost thought it was an official Parasite Eve game, but it's actually an indie game that just happens to be very similar to Parasite Eve. So even though it's not an official Parasite Eve game, which I would have loved for Square to come back and do that, I'm still, invested. I still want to see what they do with this. And with the demo coming out tomorrow, I mean, this is going to show a lot of promise. The trailer already showed some great combat, right? A great updated combat system, not like that third birthday trash. We don't talk about that. But yeah, I mean, it looks promising so far. Character designs look solid. The creature designs are hidden, man. Oh my goodness. Parasite Eve is definitely well known for its creature designs, and Mutant does give that some justice. Animation looks smooth, looks crisp. Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to for this game, especially for JRPGs, because holy fuck, man, it is hard to find JRPGs nowadays. But I've managed to find this one, so hey, that's what counts. Anyways, moving on. Next up, we have Fire Emblem Fortune Weave, another JRPG that I found that I'm like, okay, now we're in for something good. This is coming from someone that's been playing Fire Emblem ever since I've gotten my hands on the GBA versions, ever since I got my hands on the SNES versions, and what have you. Um, and putting tons and tons and tons of hours into Three Houses. So when I saw Fortune Weave coming out, I'm like, yeah, now we talking. Expanding upon what Three Houses has already given us. Looking forward to it, especially with Engage kind of being like a hit or miss. But Nintendo, even for every game that flops, they have another game lined up around the corner, ready, to blow your mind. That's how Nintendo rolls, man. I mean, there's no wonder the Switch 2 is absolutely dominating gaming right now. I mean, man, the PS5, no one's playing on that bullshit console. Xbox is fucking dead. Steam can't be taken seriously, except for a couple exceptional games, but for the most part, can't be taken seriously. And mobile games are an absolute joke. But Nintendo, man, they have been swinging out the gates, man. They've been swinging out the gates, bringing us quality. And Fire Emblem is doing just that. It's looking really promising. And yeah, next up on the list, we got the Duskbloods. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone is already excited for this because this is, of course, From Software returning yet again with another great game. I mean, they haven't skipped a beat in a while, so there's a lot to look forward to. When I saw this, the first thing I was thinking, I'm like, it kind of feels like Sekiro, kind of feels like Bloodborne. It feels like a lot of their previous games meshed into something new. And with it being focused on vampires, someone that loves vampires, I'm like, yes, sir. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. So I'm very interested, very excited to see what the Duskbloods has for us. And yeah. Next up on the list, we have Spell Trigger. This is another indie game that caught my eye. I wasn't even really looking out for this, but I saw the trailer pop up, checked it out, and I was like, okay, okay, okay. Not bad, not bad. Um, it's interesting. We still seeing these shooter hybrid games coming out. Now, according to the developers, they are claiming that this is supposed to be a shooter RPG. So when I thought of that, I'm like, is this gonna be like Black Rock Shooter? Is this gonna be like Dirge of Cerberus? Like what kind of shooter RPG are we going for? From the combat, it looks more on the same lines of Dirge of Cerberus. And I like that game, so Spell Trigger is definitely up my alley in that sense. And it also serves as a visual novel too, so it kind of has that Persona feel, especially with some of the character designs and graphics. Uh, so yeah, it looks pretty cool. Gotta check that out. And last but not least, we have Gungrave Gore Dead Heat. Now, technically, I'm not really sure if this is a new game. This might just be an expansion or a DLC of Gore. But either way, I'm excited for it. I'm a big Gungrave fan. For anyone that knows, been around on the channel long enough, they know that I be repping Gungrave all the time. And yeah, Overdose is probably my all-time favorite Gungrave game. Right. Gore was okay when I first played it. I don't think that game is as bad as people make it out to be. But I saw Dead Heat and I was thinking, you know what? They might be able to improve what Gore kind of lacked in, you know? So seeing that, I'm like, you know what? I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see what Gungrave can bring to the table. And they have a different studio working on Dead Heat itself. So they might come up with some new ideas that the previous studio didn't bring in. So I'm willing to see it. You know, I'm willing to give it a chance, and I'm hyped for it. And there you go. That's my list of the top 5 games I'm hyped for in 2026. You know, in this barren wasteland of garbage games coming out left and right, it is hard to find good games, man. Holy fuck, it's hard to find good games. Um, but you know, not all hope is lost. You can still find good stuff. You know, it's not easy, but if you really put the time, the work, the energy, the effort in there, you can find some good stuff. And that's exactly what I did. You know, that's exactly what I'm giving y'all. So hopefully you guys can take that and just enjoy them, look forward to them. But with that being said, Yuki here, the Rebelling Rose, and until next time, I'll see you.